In today's video I've come down to Anglesey in North Wales to a little village called Waterfall. I'm making my way down to the hidden waterfall that I've heard about in the woods here. Whilst on the way I couldn't resist heading down to the beach to get a few images of the Menai bridge from the beach. So the shot I'm actually trying to get, I'm actually looking straight at the Menai bridge, looking with this rock you can see in the foreground. I'll just put the video footage up here to show you exactly what I'm trying to get from this scene. Now I'm looking with the rock in the foreground. I'm set at 50mm, so I'm basically getting the shot that my eye can see, and I'm looking at the Menai bridge. Now what I'm hoping to get with the Menai bridge itself is a somewhat moody kind of sky. As you can see behind me, there is only a bit of light poking through. There is a lot of wind today, and it has been raining as well, so we've got kind of a moody effect going on. What I'm hoping to get is a burst of sunlight maybe coming through, maybe creating a rainbow over it, but if not, I'm going to settle for just the moodiness of the sky. I can actually bring the clouds out later on. Now this is more ideal for a sunset or sunrise location, but unfortunately I'm only here during the day. I could come back again obviously, but I'm actually here for a different purpose. As you can see by the title of the video, I'm looking for the waterfall up here. But I couldn't neglect getting this shot while I'm here, especially with some of the autumnal colour coming through, even though it's only just beginning August. I'm going to shoot this on the tripod at a 50th of a second, ISO 50, and an aperture of I'm currently set at f8, but that may change depending on the lighting. Settings will come up with the image. I'm hoping this image will prove to be good. I'm trying out the new Sony a7 III that I've just recently bought. I've switched over to that because a friend was selling his camera and gave me a good deal on it, so I really couldn't refuse. So yeah, giving it a try today and seeing what I can create with it. Hopefully this image will turn out well. If it is any good, it's coming up now. So after waiting around for about 10 minutes, I didn't quite get the shot I wanted, but I did manage to get a nice shot nonetheless. It was nice, moody. It's exactly what I was looking for in terms of the shot itself. I may have to come back here again later on in the year, get the nice more autumnal look that I'm looking for in the image. As you can see, the image has come out quite nicely. Bit of editing. For this image I've actually taken a 2-image focus stack, one on the rock and one on the bridge. I've taken a couple of shots here. I'm going to see which one's the best. That'll come up on computer. Whichever one you saw just before, that's what I consider to be the best of the images. Now there is another composition just over here that I'm going to try with, if you can see behind me, there's a log just about there. Nice gnarly cut down tree, so I'm going to try and get a shot with that in the foreground to see how it looks. And I'm also going to make a note of this location to come back in October. I'm hoping all these trees that are surrounding I'm hoping they'll turn a nice autumnal yellow colour. Hopefully the weather will be a bit better too. What we're getting up here behind me, we've got a bit of sun trying to break through the clouds, and we've got really dark clouds over here over the bridge. Neither of that, thanks to the wind, is actually making for the image I want. I'm not getting the rainbow because there's not enough moisture in the atmosphere over there, and there isn't enough light coming through. And I'm not going to get the cloud cover I want. But I accept that. I'll move on from that and find the waterfall. That's all you can do. It is about 11 AM, so it's not the best time in terms of light, but for the mood image I'm trying to create with this nice dark and moody, I think it's good enough. If that shot with the branch is any good, I will put it up now, along with some B-roll for the waterfall. Now, the waterfall itself is in a very hidden part of the forest, and I couldn't do much filming as it's a very densely packed forest with very few paths leading to the waterfall. This is a truly hidden, deep forest waterfall. I've had to hike through these woods to actually get to this. There's no footpath to this, so I'm literally making my own path here. I'm absolutely drenched with sweat. Not just because they're hiking, but because it's very humid and very warm in here, but it's also very moist and, like I say, humid. I'm absolutely dripping, but my God, that is worth it. Isn't that beautiful? That is a really wild waterfall, and because of the rain we've had, it looks even better. So what I need to do, I need to find a composition, because I've never been here before. I'm literally searching as I go, so I'm going to find a nice composition. When I've got one, I'll come back to you. Okay, so the first shot I'm going for is a relatively simplistic one, looking at the waterfall from over here with these ferns in the foreground. We've got these gorgeous vibrant ferns and this fantastic moss on the rocks. Now, I've put some video up here. As you can see, I've got the ferns making up the foreground of the image. I've got the mossy rocks creating a frame around the centre pool of the actual waterfall, that gorgeous white contrasting with the rocks, and the main waterfall in the background. I'm absolutely loving that composition as a first shot. As I said before, I'm not used to this location, so I'm going to be looking around and seeing what I can get from the other parts of the waterfall as well. Hopefully this shot will be some good. If it is, it's coming up now. This is a 5-shot focus stack, focusing on the ferns, 2 shots for the middle ground and 1 shot for the waterfall in the background. I'll blend those together in Photoshop. I'll put them together and hopefully get one nice shot out of it. And one problem with focus stacking a waterfall like this, as I've mentioned in one of my previous videos in the comments to a subscriber, sometimes you get a bit of a step in the waterfall as you focus stack it. So what I do, I actually take one of the best shots of the waterfall and blend that in to the full stack, so it creates a nice even flow of water through the image. Hopefully this first shot's good. It's coming up now. So for this next shot, I've actually come down to the water's edge here. I'm looking up at the waterfall. I've got these bubbles in the water just in front of me here. You'll see better on the video in a moment. Looking at the waterfall, those bubbles are leading nicely to the waterfall. Looking at the main waterfall in the foreground, I've got a big waterfall in the background, taking a shot 24mm. I only need one shot for this because everything will be in focus. I'll show you on the composition here. As you can see, we've got the flow of water just making a leading line up to the waterfall in the middle. That waterfall in the middle is creating a lead up to the main waterfall at the back. So all in all, those elements work together nicely. Really bright white of the waterfall is contrasting nicely with the greens of the mosses. It's making an absolutely stunning image. I think the next shot I'm going to go for, I'm going to try and get a look at the side of the rocks here, looking at this waterfall over here, kind of side on, and getting a shot along the length of it just to see how that looks. I'm going to try and compose that image so that it forms one corner to the other as a composition and leads across the image. But if this shot's any good, I'll put that up now and I'll come back for that shot there. This particular waterfall is a bit of a gift that keeps on giving. Now I couldn't quite get the shot I wanted because of these big boulders in the background here. They're obscuring the waterfall too much to actually get what I want. I'd have to go a bit further forward to get that shot. But I have set up down here, which you can just about see. Looking at the waterfall, you'll see better on the video in a moment. But I'm looking at the waterfall and it is kind of creating the composition I wanted. I'll let you make your mind up now. I'll put this video up and I'll talk you through the composition. And what I'm loving about this composition here, you've got all these mosses on these rocks, are absolutely vibrant and showing up nicely with the sun that's just coming through the tree canopy. I've got the polarizer just angled to take any reflection off the water. That's also adding contrast to those greens as well. As you can see in the video, the flow of water is just creating a nice image from corner to corner of the image with the bigger waterfall at the back there. Now that's a 3-image focus stack focusing on the foreground, midground and background. Nice and simple, just blend those together to create one image. Now, ordinarily I don't take a photograph of a waterfall from sort of head height, but as you can see, I've set up about chest height on my camera. And the reason being, I've got these ferns here. I've got these bamboos, or at least they look like bamboo, creating a nice frame around the actual waterfall in the background there. I'll put the video up to show you what I'm shooting. As you can see, I've got the ferns in the foreground, but they are moving around a bit in the wind, and same with the bamboos on the side. And I've got the waterfall in the background creating a nice white contrast in the image. Once again, it's a really good use of colour with the bright white of the waterfall and the ultra bright greens of the foliage. I'm actually really loving the way that image actually comes together and the way it forms just a nice perfect shot and a perfect balance. Now I've taken a shot of the ferns in the foreground and I've taken a shot of the waterfall in the background. I'm going to have to blend those together as kind of a focus stack. So I've got the nice sharp ferns, but I've also got the waterfall flowing nicely as well. I'm gonna have to blend those together. I'll probably keep the image of the ferns as the main image and blend in the waterfall in the background. Unfortunately, there's no other way to take it because of the movements in the ferns. It's a half a second exposure. They were just moving around too much to create a nice sharp image. Hopefully that'll work out. If it doesn't, I'll just have to keep the image with the ferns moving. Either way, that's coming up now, and we'll see if we can get another image from this location. So I've come just a little bit further forward than the previous composition. As you can see, the ferns behind me and the bamboos here. I'm set up looking at this branch here. Now I've got the branch making up a nice bit of foreground in the bottom corner of the image. I'll just put the video up now for you. As you can see, it's making up a nice foreground in the corner of the image, but also you've got the water flowing across the image, leading up nicely to the waterfall in the background. And what I'm loving about that is the texture of the log, the texture of all the moss, and once again the colour of the waterfall mixed in with all the nice greens and the mosses and everything. Now I've taken that as a 4-image focus stack because I needed to get the log sharp, all the foreground rock sharp, and the waterfall in the background. Now, I'm hoping it'll show up on the image, but there are just a few nice yellow leaves showing on the trees, which is showing up the nice autumn colours. We are only in the middle of August, but things are starting to autumn up nicely. Hopefully this image will be any good. It's coming up now. So there we go, that was a nice hidden, very rarely visited waterfall. Now there are only a couple of paths down to it, but they don't look like they're very well trodden, so I don't think many people know where it is. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because these things should be shared, but if you share them too much they can also get destroyed. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and the images. If you have, leave a comment below and let me know. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.